Hi there, I'm Buddha and you're watching Dr. Guitar, a show for all you guitarists out there. In today's episode, I'm gonna give you some tips on how to play rhythm guitar in blues. Blues rhythm guitar, if you want it. I grew up, I got into the blues, not directly via the Bluesman, but via Jimi Hendrix, Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Cream, and all the rock bands that played blues, even AC/DC. So I was used, especially through Hendrix, I was used to play all the licks when I played the blues. So I would play the riff, then I'll throw in some melodies, I'll do some unison with the vocals. I'll be all over because I always played in a trio format and as Hendrix, and I was getting all the roles in my guitar playing, and I still do. That's my thing. But in 2004, I played with a Spanish guy named Salva Poque, and he had really great rhythm playing. I was really amazed, like, okay, now I get it. While he was playing rhythm, we were jamming, and while he was holding the rhythm part, I felt like I played a lot better because of him. So that made me think that I needed to get a lot better in my rhythm playing. I needed to go deep into my rhythm playing. And then I started studying all the bands that I've listened to, and usually they had a rhythm guitar player and a lead guitar player and usually a harmonica player and a piano player. So they were all doing what I was trying to do with just one guitar. And I found out that the rhythm playing in blues is usually very repetitive and very simple. So the less you complicate, the groovier it gets. And especially the pocket, that's a thing I already know in all genres, but the pocket needs to be great. So every genre has its pocket. In the blues, you need to be really focused. Your rhythm playing needs to be a train. So you need to be really tight, really rhythmic, and really grooving with the drums, grooving with the bass. A little change makes all the difference. Today, I'm going to give you some examples of riffs, some rhythm riffs playing. So we'll be concentrating on the shuffle. What is a shuffle? The shuffle is a beat that grabs 2 8 notes, and instead of making them equally, like pop 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 pop, it delays the second one. So it's pop 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 pop. This is the shuffle. It's close to the swing on the jazz swing, ting 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 ting. Okay, and the shuffle is a really huge component of the blues playing. So the first thing you need to get right is your shuffle. And your shuffle would be in a chord. Usually on guitar, you play it like a power chord, first and fifth. We'll be concentrating on A tonality, okay? So we're playing a blues in A. The first thing you can do is play the power chord. So A string, D string pressed on the second fret. You can hear it. It's grooving because I'm not playing it like a bozo. I'm not playing. I'm grooving it. You already have the blues playing, okay? So this is the first thing you should practice. Get your groove right. Simplify your left hand. Just get it right by playing both hands. And I'm punching ta tuga 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 tuga. Why? Because the snare is on my ta tempo, is on my second note. So okay, so the snare is boom, tum pa, tum boom, tum pa, tum boom, tum pa, and I'm getting that snare with the drummer. So I'm adding to the drummer, I'm playing with the drummer, even though there's no drummer in here, but it is one in my head. So this is the first simple thing you need to practice. And it's stupidly simple, but it's stupidly hard. It seems super basic, like, yeah, I'm not even playing notes. Yeah, try to do it if you don't know how to do it, and then we'll talk. So this is the first groove. Then a typical thing in the blues is to take this groove, this power chord, and take it, add a 6 to the note. So you are playing 1 and 5. Then you can play 1 and 6. Okay? So the same groove. Okay, super simple. And this is when I understood it. This is the groove. Then you need to have a guitar, another guitar player or a soloist or harp player doing the. And this is still my way of playing. I'm not saying you should play the simple thing. It depends. If you're playing with 2 other guitar players, someone has to do the groove. Otherwise, everyone will be playing all over. So this is why I'm trying to let you know about the simple grooves, because it's needed. It's needed a lot of times. Or if you're playing with a singer that is all over, or if you're playing real Chicago blues, real old school blues, this is the way. So we now have 2 riffs. The first one, which you don't move the left hand. And the second one, where you add the 6th to the chord, so 5 and 6. Okay, and now you can add the 7th, the dominant 7th. So you have the 1 5, 1 6, and 1 7. Okay, and you have the. Okay, 3 simple riffs, 3 different riffs. So if you play a blues, if you get in a jam session, if you're playing some blues, choose which of the riffs you want to play. Don't play the three. They are three different things. Although they are super similar, it happens with all the blues. You need to focus on one riff and you need to repeat it. All African derived music comes from repetition and establishing the groove, establishing the motif. So if you play all the licks in one blues, when you go and try to play the second blues, you already played it all. You have nothing else to say. So stick with simple things, simple riffs. If you're playing a blues with 1 and 6, go there, stay there. Stay there, no problem staying there. It keeps the groove. And when you change key, it augments the tension. So I'm just playing the one note. Let me play a 12-bar blues with a 1 and 6. Okay, simple but very effective. So you have these three riffs that are based on the same thing. You can now do the which is almost the same thing, but starting with a 7. And there's all kind of variations. I'm not going there because it will be endless. With this riff, you can throw in, there's usually a great concept about the blues is the concept of the third. So you have the minor third and the major third coexisting and sounding good. That's strange. You can play dominant 7 chord, so an A major with a flat 7. Okay, and on top of this chord you can play a minor third. That's the blues. Major and minor third coexist, so there's no major or minor tonality. You can play a minor pentatonic on top of the A7 chord. And you can play a major pentatonic. I'm digressing now. So you can play it the minor and the major. So a great thing to add to the riff is to have a kind of a turnaround. So you do it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and now you throw in a turnaround. So instead of repeating the same riff all over, you are making the riff be twice as long. So you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, ba da ba da, 1, 2, 3. 3. Okay, so you have a 2-bar riff, and the ba ba da. You can play with the third. You can do it. Or even. There's a lot of variations, but so it's another spicy to the riff. And it seems super simple, but really try to focus. Play with the drummer in your head. Play the choo choo ba coo coo choo ga coo 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 ga coo 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 ga coo coo. Try to play that snare, and especially for the drummers, which is usually not it's not usual at all for drummers that are not coming from the blues. It's the shuffle, the snare shuffle. The snare is doing all the shuffle with the guitar. So you need to be really tight with the drummer, and that's a really hard thing to do because everyone feels the shuffle in a slightly different way. But that's another thing that's playing in band. I'm just trying to give you some riffs. So these are really simple riffs, but really effective riffs. And these are based on the power chord. Of course, you can do it here. And if you have fingers like mine, you will have a difficulty to go to the 7. Very hard, it's not comfortable. So I usually play the 7 here. I use a bar to grab the 7th beneath the first. So and to be more precise, I usually use my pick, and then I go with the 3rd finger. Simple as that. I also do another riff. So this is called the Uptown. You're going up, and don't forget, always grab a riff and stick with it until the song ends. Don't mix riffs. At least don't mix it in the same parts. You can have like a chorus, or you can have a chorus and a verse. Probably that way you can mix it, and it will sound okay. So like, if we're going, come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go to that same old place, sweet home Chicago? One is two, two, 4, 4 is a baby. get the idea. So when I change the verse, you might change the riff. It didn't sound good to me, so I would keep it in this blues. But you can have the Uptown Riff, which is going up and going up in the arpeggio of the chord. So playing the first, third, 5, 7, flat 7, and first again. And take a notice of the difference in the groove. I'm playing real stiff shuffle. The second riff is a lot more Stevie Ray Vaughan. It's a lot more Texas feel. So it's a lot more danceable, a lot happier. And by opposite, the first riff is stiffer. It's meaner. It's sexier. It's more aggressive. So even playing the same riff, changing the feel would make you sound different, and will make you glue better or worse with your drummer. So bear that in mind. So we're keeping the Uptown. Okay. We can now replace the 7 by the 6. So we are now playing a major riff, because we have the 1, the third, the 5, and the 6. So it's a major up. You can either choose, or you can even throw a 7. And now you're going up and down. You're again augmenting the length of your riff. So you are repeating yourself only after 2 bars instead of repeating yourself every bar. So it makes sense. And then, of course, if you have the Uptown, which is going up, you have the Downtown, which is coming down. So you can have Okay, and this is playing the octave, playing the 7, the 6, and the 5. Okay, you can also have which is just playing. You start on the 1, on the low one, so you get it. I'm going down. Of course, all riffs, since the harmony in a standard blues, it's just the 1, the 4, and the 5. You can play all the riffs in the same blues, but again, I tell you, stick with one riff for each song. Otherwise, you are mixing all the songs together. Every song should have its identity. So if you're riffing downtown, keep it downtown. Don't do the you're not getting song identity. You're riffing, and you're making the song be less focused. You're distracting the vocal, you're distracting the lyrics, you're distracting everything. You are calling attention to yourself. Of course, it seems like funnier or more pleasing to play more riffs because you're not repeating yourself. But find the pleasure in repetition. Repetition is a key, a super important key to music. That's why dance music is so popular, because it's super ultra repetitive, and people feel it and groove with it and dance to it. That's why. I'm not saying it's good, that kind of repetition. I'm just calling the trying to make some light in your head. So repetition is really a huge form of music. James Brown funk was repetition all over. It was this riff all over, never changed, and it's great. Try to find yourself a riff and stick with it to the end of the song, till the end of the song. Okay, and just to call it off, there's a song by Jimi Hendrix called Jelly 292, that has 4 great blues riffs, but 4 transformed blues riffs. So he's doing Jimi Hendrix chords. So this is this chord. If we're sticking in A, he played it with a thumb, but you can play it here. It's the same thing. You just grab your A major, and with the pinky finger you add the 9th over here. So he does it. Then the second riff. Third riff. Fourth riff. And in one song you have four great unclassic riffs. So these are all strange riffs. So he's doing a lot of chromatic. Then the third riff is a lot more classic. You can do it. You can do it a classic way. Well, that's it. I hope you have liked the show. I hope this has been helpful to you. Please keep in mind this is not the way you should play blues. This is just my advice to you. It's just me sharing some riffs. There are infinite blues riffs. There are infinite ways of thinking the blues. This is just me trying to help you in your blues path and trying to give you the help I would love to have when I was learning. When I learned to play, there was no internet, there was no YouTube, so we could not get this info anywhere. We had to listen to the records and to try to figure out what were the rules of thumb, how did it work. So I'm trying to make it into one show, but there's a lot more riffs and a lot more to explore. This is just simple concepts. The main concept, it's two super important advice. Work on your groove. You need to have a great groove. If you have a great groove, you have a drummer in you. So play it with the groove, and get a riff and stick with it until the end of the blues. Otherwise, you are messing all the blues up. Okay? So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's super important. We are getting close to the 3,000 subscribers, which is way beyond what I have ever thought this channel would be. But now I want it to grow even more so we can do funnier things, better things for ourselves. Please leave your comments and we'll see each other next week. Bye-bye.